Hey guys, what's up? Today we are going to take another look at these Beretta magazines that we got to work on the Glock 48 43X line of pistols. Let's talk about it. Alright, so we've gone from a couple different things. We first took one of these 9mm M9 magazines, right? We realized that an unmodified version of it will fit inside of a Glock 43X and a Glock 48, okay? They will fit in there. If you held them in there, they would cycle, and you'd be able to get it to cycle. They would fire if you were able to stick it up there and fire. That was okay. Then we decided, well, these are so close to the Shield Arms magazines, all we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the little window that the Shield Arms magazine has, the S15 mags. We're gonna cut the little window right here, the little, whatever you wanna call it, the cutout, the magazine release. We did that. We cut out the little hole for the magazine release, and now they stick in the gun. They feed, and they fire, and the magazine, it's held in there, so it's fine, okay? The second thing that we did to these was, as you can see, this has an orange follower. We took the original follower, this black follower, out of the M9 magazine, right, the Beretta magazine. We took it out, and we replaced it with an OEM. These are the OEM magazines, the 10-round magazines that I really don't even use on these guns anymore. We took out the orange follower, and that's all we took out, not the spring. That didn't really seem to make any difference, so not the spring, not anything else. Just the follower, and we replaced the follower. What that does is that gives you a magazine that not only seats in the gun, locks in the gun, but I'm not holding back on the slide release or anything. It holds, it activates the last round slide lock, right? And then the magazine drops free. On some of these, the magazine will drop free. On the Glock 48 that I have, the magazine will drop free. On the 43X, it kind of sometimes will. Most of the time, you kind of got to pull it out. And I believe it is the Shield Arms steel magazine release in the 48 MOS that I have that is not allowing this thing to seat at all. It won't seat. So I think that's a magazine release button thing, not the MOS version being something different. But anyway, we've done all this with a sample group of 1, okay? So today, as quickly as I can without screwing anything up, I'm gonna take another one of these magazines, another one of these Beretta 92 magazines, okay? And I'm going to measure everything, cut it, replace the follower, and see if I can reproduce what I did before, right? If I can make another one of these modified magazines, see if I can get it to, in the 48, drop free, right? And in both of them, you have a last round slide lock, okay? I'm gonna see if I can do that. It really shouldn't be hard. All it takes is a set of calipers, right? Or some sort of measuring device, right? And measure your distances, mark your distances, get you a Dremel, however you're going to do it. I'm going to use a Dremel, it's just the easiest way for me to do it. Cut out your little box, replace your follower, and you should have a semi-functioning magazine. So we're going to do that real quick. I'll speed up the process and kind of highlight some stuff maybe, and then we'll meet you back here. Let's do it. All right, so the moment of truth. This was this took, I don't remember, the battery died halfway through. So I'm sure somebody was going to try to call me out and say I did something different, but that's fine. These should look pretty much identical. This is the first one we did. This is the second one that we did, okay? All we did was measure this box, this square cutout, measure the square cutout, replace the follower with a OEM follower. Let's see. We have the original. In and out. Locks open. Truth. Whatever. Here we go. Second one. Locks in there. Locks open, and it falls straight out. No problems as far as it needing to be. Now that seems to be perfectly fine. There seems to be plenty of pressure on the spring to be locking it open, and whenever the slide is down, there's plenty of pressure on the spring to eject that magazine. I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm honestly pleasantly surprised. So now I've got 2 of these to test and not just a sample of 1. This was pretty much a brand new Beretta 92 magazine. Let's head back over to the table real quick, and I'll wrap this up real quick. Alrighty guys, so there you go. That's pretty much it. This is the The military law enforcement one, the military law enforcement one, the one that's actually marked military law enforcement, the older one, that's the first one that we did, okay? Locks in there just fine. I'm gonna have to, ooh, I don't know. Something happened and it didn't like that after I say it's just fine. So see, I'm gonna leave that in there because who knows what that was. I don't know. I have no earthly idea. These are not made for this, so if they don't work, I can't blame them. But if you can look down in there, if the lighting is good at all, probably not. You can see that the magazine or the slide lock is riding on that lever. Anyway, that's the first one we did. Second one that we just did today, right? This is pretty much a brand spanking new Beretta 92 magazine. Like, it's new as far as it's never really been used. I don't know if it's current production or not, but there you go. So he's in there, he drops free. I could do mag changes all day long. Sometimes it catches, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Just as good so far. Just as good. I know that's the best quote that you could give somebody off of internet kind of stuff for if you're arguing. But anyway, just as good, yeah. So we will have to see how well this thing really works. But I just thought I had another one of these magazines sitting around. I figured, why not give it a go? Why not give it a go? Because other people are going to watch these videos, and there's a fair amount of y'all that have actually seen these. So I figured I'll try another one to make sure I didn't just have a fluke of one that actually worked. All right. I still need to get out and shoot with this follower. I've not shot yet with this follower as of making this video. I have not shot with this follower, so I don't know if it's going to give any better feeding or if it's going to be consistent on locking back. Just a second ago you saw on film something didn't work, something wasn't lined up right, and it wasn't holding back on that slide lock. But now it is, now it seems to be fine. Anyway guys, if you got any questions, these are the updated ones, right? I should market these things and sell them, but there's really nothing to sell. You just cut a window and you replace your OEM follower. That's pretty much it. If you want a relatively cheap 15-round magazine, or if you want to go expensive and go fancy, I almost did it to this guy, but I couldn't bring myself to cut it. This is a nicer Beretta 17-round magazine, so you could get a 17-rounder. I've had a couple people throw in there the idea of running a 30-rounder, like if you're going to do what is it, USPSA or whatever. If you're going to be doing some competition stuff, I could see somebody doing that. I could see, because you don't need to worry about concealability and you want to shoot a slim gun like this, I could definitely see that if the reliability really is there, right? There have been some hiccups when I ran, excuse me, the Beretta OEM follower, right? But now that I have changed out to this Glock one, I haven't shot it yet, but it seems to be a little bit better in a couple different areas, but we'll have to see. So anyway, guys, if you have any questions about that, let me know. If not, then y'all know what to do. Y'all be good to be safe. I appreciate you watching, subscribing, and everything. Hopefully we will catch y'all in the next video. All right, one final thing I feel like I have to say. That didn't come out right, but one final thing I do feel like I have to say it that way. If you're gonna do this, I cannot highly recommend or highly encourage you more, get a steel magazine release, okay? The way I cut these things is with the Dremel. I go back in there and I polish this stuff with a file, okay? I don't polish it. I try to take off the burrs with a file, okay? This is not as clean cut as a Shield Arms magazine, and even the Shield Arms magazines have wore out some aluminum magazine releases, okay? Bear in mind, if you use an OEM polymer plastic magazine release, I highly doubt you're going to get very many cycles through these things before you start seriously wearing out that magazine release, okay? Know that going into this. That's a very important thing. If you have an aluminum one, you'll probably be okay, but get a steel one. The two that I would recommend right now is the steel one from Tyrant Designs. It works really well so far, okay? And I don't know if the steel one from Shield right now is what is causing these magazines not to want to go into the 48 MOS. I don't know if it's something about the MOS that's different. I don't think so. I think it's just the magazine release. So I'm not 100% sure on the Shield Arms one. Shield Arms one is excellent for the Shield Arms magazines. If that's what you're gonna run, get that. If that's your primary thing, get that and leave it alone. Don't worry about it. But if you want to get something else like the Tyrant Designs magazine release, that so far does work right, with these modified Beretta magazines. I feel like I have to throw that out there because I don't want to be responsible or feel like I'm responsible for somebody going out there making some of these magazines because they don't want to spend 40 bucks on a Shield magazine, not replacing their OEM magazine release, and ripping and wearing the thing out in an afternoon. I don't want to be responsible for that. Be smart. Metal on metal is better than metal on plastic. Be smart. All right, that's it. All right, y'all take care.